Hello, and welcome back to the channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. My name is Ricky Fraley, and on this channel I like to talk about true crime. This video might be just a little bit shorter than my regular videos, and that's due to the fact that this is a long case with a lot of details, and so I've decided that this will be the first case that I split into two different videos. So without further ado, let's get into it. Lori Vallow-daybell was born Lori Noreen Cox on June 26, 1973, in San Bernardino, California. Shortly after graduating high school, she would marry her high school sweetheart, a man by the name of Nelson Yanes, in the year 1992, but the two would get divorced shortly afterwards. This would be the first in a long string of marriages and then divorces in her life. At the age of 22, she would then marry a 23-year-old named William Lagioia, in Travis County, Texas, on October 22nd, 1995. The couple would have a son, who they named Colby, and he was born in 1996 before they finalized their divorce in February of 1998. In 2001, Lori would marry Joseph Anthony Ryan Jr. Ryan would legally adopt Lori's son Colby from the previous marriage, and the couple would go on to have their own child, a girl named Tylee Ashlyn Ryan, on September 24th, 2002. Ryan, however, would subsequently file for divorce on August 13th of 2004, and the divorce would be finalized on May 18th of the next year, 2005. In 2007, in Travis County, Texas, Ryan, the third husband and father of Tylee, biological father of Tylee, was attacked by Lori's brother, Alexander Lamar Cox, who went by Alex. He was attacked based on allegations that Ryan had abused Lori during their relationship, and Cox would taser and threaten to murder Ryan, and he would later plead guilty and be sentenced to 90 days in jail, which he served in Austin, Texas. Now, this is seemingly unrelated, but I wanted to include that Joseph Ryan would be found dead in his apartment 14 years after the dissolution of his marriage to Lori Vallow. His death would be ruled a heart attack, so he is no longer with us either. On February 24th of 2006, Lori, who at this point in time was still using her ex-husband's last name, so she was going by Lori Ryan, would marry Leland Anthony Vallow, also known as Charles Vallow. This would become her fourth marriage. Charles was a lifelong Catholic. However, at Lori's wishes, he would convert and become a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So, Mormons? I don't know if they really go by that much, but if you know Mormons, that's them, pretty much. Charles had two sons of his own, and they were named Nicholas and Zachary Chase. They were from a previous marriage, and the couple would subsequently adopt Charles's grandnephew, Joshua Jackson, who went by the name of JJ. JJ Vallow was born on May 25th, 2012. The couple would then move to Kauai in late 2014. In February of 2019, Charles Vallow alleged that Lori informed him that she no longer cared about him or JJ, and that she was the reincarnated wife of Joseph Smith. And Joseph Smith he's an important figure in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I'm not going to get into who he is, but just know he's an important he's a very important figure. He was one of the leaders at one point. So she did inform him that she didn't care about him or their adopted son, I guess, his grandnephew, JJ, anymore, and that she was the reincarnated wife of Joseph Smith. And then she vanished for 58 days. So she was gone for almost 2 months. Charles would file for divorce, stating that Lori had threatened to murder him, and taken around $35,000 from their joint savings accounts, and also stolen his truck, which I really don't blame him, honestly, at that point. He would also file an order of protection against Lori at the advice of his attorney, citing a genuine fear for his life. His lawyers would say that he was quite concerned about JJ's safety and well-being due to his specialized needs, and that he showed genuine concern for Ty Lee, but was unable to include her in his filings due to her not being his biological daughter, and also he didn't have any legal guardianship over her, so there was nothing he could really do legally. Charles would, however, go on to withdraw his petition for the order of protection 1 month later, citing that he wanted to work on his marriage. Unfortunately, on July 11th, 2019, with that same year, he was shot and killed in Chandler, Arizona, by Lori's brother, the same Alex Cox, who claimed self-defense in the incident. According to Cox, he went to confront Charles about him abusing his sister, allegedly, again, where he would allege that Charles Vallow struck him on the head with a bat, so he went to go get his firearm. Both JJ and Ty Lee were present during the shooting, and Lori did not immediately notify Charles's extended family or the children from his previous marriage about his death at the hands of her brother. Days later, Lori would discover that the beneficiary of Charles's $1 million life insurance policy had actually been changed from her to his sister, Kay Woodcock, who was also JJ's paternal grandmother. This did not, or I guess I can only allege that this did not make her too happy. She missed out on that payment. So, right after that, on October 2nd, 2019, that same year, a wedding ring would be purchased from Amazon, with using the now deceased Charles Vallow's bank account. This wedding ring cost $35.99. Now, it's important that I get into another person at this point, and that person's name is Chad Daybell. Chad Daybell was born on August 11th, 1968 in Provo, Utah, and he would marry Tammy Douglas, who was born on May 4th, 1970. They would marry in Manti or Manti, I believe, I'm going to go with Manti, Utah on March 9th, 1990. He later graduated from Brigham Young University in 1992 with a bachelor's in journalism and would work many other jobs, including that of being a sexton, which is more commonly known as a gravedigger. In 2004, he founded the Spring Creek Book Company with a man known only by the name of Douglas, who was a graphic artist and manager. The company would be nearly entirely devoted to his end times fiction and other religious books, essentially. So Chad and his wife Tammy would go on to have 5 children together, who they named Seth, Leah, Mark, Garth, and Emma. In 2015, Chad claimed to hear a voice telling him to relocate to Rexburg, Idaho, and as such, he and Tammy would move there from Springville, Utah, where they were living, that June of 2015. Around that same time, that same year, in 2015, Lori would go on to read Chad Daybell's Standing in Holy Places series of books, and would develop an unhealthy obsession, according to the friends closest to Lori at the time. In 2016, the next year, the Vallow family would move back to Arizona, and in the fall of 2018, along with a friend by the name of Melanie Gibb, Lori would attend a Preparing the People event. This would be where Lori would meet the man, Chad Daybell, for the very first time. She was recalled as having said to Melanie that the two had been married in several previous lifetimes. See, the thing about Chad Daybell's specific brand of crazy, well, I guess his specific religious beliefs. There's some LDS thrown in there, but then there's also a bunch of other stuff that he just made up, as far as I can tell, like reincarnation, light beings, dark beings, zombies. It's a lot. The two would begin privately communicating, and a few weeks after this initial meeting, Lori would hold an intimate overnight gathering at her home, where she invited none other than Chad Daybell, who had been speaking at a conference in Mesa, Arizona at the time, and she also invited her friend Melanie Gibb. Gibb would later recall Daybell lavishing attention on Vallow and expanding upon his unusual religious beliefs and the deeper mysteries of God. like I said, with a small group of the overnight guests. Daybell would make statements explaining that he had lived 31 different lives on various Earth-like planets. He would refer to other people as light or dark and various gradations in between. It was Daybell's belief that dark individuals were from this Earth, but were followers of Satan, and that light individuals were followers of Jesus Christ. Daybell often referred to Lori as an eternal being of 21 separate lives of her own, of which only 5 of those lives had actually occurred on this planet, being Earth, the place where all the humans live, and those 5 lives had coincided with his 5 also on this Earth, where all the humans live. This would thrill Lori, as she would find herself very enthralled by this belief system, of course, and she would begin to form a much deeper fixation on her newfound purpose, and on Chad Daybell himself. On December 5th, 2018, Lori and Chad would appear together on the Preparing the People podcast episode, Time to Warrior Up. He would stay with the Vallows at their home in Arizona at the time. So, like I said, this is going to be a shorter video. This is actually where I'm going to cut it. In the next video, I will be going over the timeline of events from here on out, because it gets very bullet pointy, jumping from date, month and date throughout the years up to currently, because this case is still going on. And that is a large bulk of information that I don't really want to overwhelm you guys with right now, and that would make this video really long as well. So this is where I'm going to stop in December of 2018, and I will be picking back up in the next video in August of 2019. So if you do like what I'm doing here, if you like my other videos, and you also want to see where this case goes from here, August 2019 and onwards, please do consider subscribing so that you can see when the next video comes out. I would even encourage you to hit the little notification bell if you want to, so that it sends you a notification, and you don't have to just sit around and wait for it to pop up on your feed. So you will know exactly when it comes out. But that is where I'm going to stop for today. And I hope to see you all again next time whenever I get the second part of this video series, I guess, out. So first, I'd like to thank my patrons for all the help that they do give me in making these videos and the inspiration of these videos. And I hope to see you all next time. Stay safe. I love you. Bye.